My name is Edouard Imbert, and I'm a combat designer at Larian Studio. The first thing that comes to mind is the new arcs, a new third chapter essentially, a completely new third act of the game that we were not happy with. So we pretty much redid everything. There are new fights. The story is told in a better way. Like for instance, the whole arc with Isbail and the Queen for people playing Beast has been made much clearer. And so on. So that is what comes to mind. And then there's this added mode that is the story mode for people who wish to enjoy the story and to not bother with combat. So in story mode you will be able, for instance, to cast resurrection at will instead of having to find resurrection scrolls. Then there's that, and then there's also a completely revamped arena mode that now includes new maps, more maps, better UI. You, instead of having to choose between 4 archetypes, the mage, ranger, warrior, rogue, you can now choose from a panel of 16 heroes that have each their very own spells and skills and everything. And now you have mutators that will occur during gameplay that you can disable or keep, of course, such as like lava falling from the sky, barrels exploding, random shackles of pain on everybody, and so on and so forth. And we also added a hot seat mode that allows you to play 4 players, up to 4 players, with 1 controller or 1 keyboard if you don't have a controller. And that's some examples of the new Definitive Edition. I think what we needed to do was to make navigation clearer and the story clearer. So that's what we've been spending some time on, especially in arcs. With puzzles, some puzzles were not really legible, not really clear. We've changed that. Some traps you would die and not really know why. So that is things that we try to avoid. Such are examples of how we reworked level design. Some areas also have been completely changed to welcome new combat or new other scenes that simply were not there before. The frustration that we sensed was coming from spellcasting classes. Essentially, we toned down resistances, the use of resistances, elemental resistances on creatures. You had, for instance, creatures that were completely resistant to everything, and added on top of that, we had the magical armor, and that was too much. That was making playing a spellcaster less valuable. So we toned that down. We made it easier for spellcasting classes to play through the fights. So that is one of the things. We added a cap to Lone Wolf to make it less overpowered, evidently, because it was simply not fun. So that is one of the changes that we've made. Also, we made it so that the torture talent now inflicts piercing damage. So now it's much more efficient, regardless of whether the creature still has a magical shield. You can still apply damage over time statuses. So that is changes that we've made. The Tactician mode is like our very own difficult mode. Enemies inflict more damage, the AI will use more tricks against you, and so on and so forth. Here, in this new arcs that we have added to the Definitive Edition, some new fights have been added, some new fights have been created. There are surprises left and right. For instance, Camp's Garden, for instance, there's this new fight. I don't want to spoil it. And in Tactician mode, certain creatures will have different skills, or certain creatures will simply not be there in classic mode and will attack you if you're playing in Tactician mode, but you would not have seen them otherwise. So that has been added and reworked as well, yes. No, I think it's a matter of roleplay feel. I think it's a matter of reactivity. I think we're trying to push really so that the world really reacts to anything that you do. So that is a lot of work, of course, but I think the success of the Divinity series is due to, thanks to the reactions you're getting from NPCs. towards the way that you have changed the world in which they live, essentially. And I think that for me, we need to push that even further. They need to react to anything that you do. And regarding combat, because that's my main area of expertise, we need to make it more tactical, like even more tactical. We have to be able to anticipate more what the way players think, while giving clear puzzles and clearly identifiable threats during combat. So that's really important to me, that the player sits and at a glance understands what the battlefield is. Sometimes I have this frustration. We do not aim at making combat difficult, like too difficult. This is really not what we're doing. We're trying to make it tactical. That is vastly different, to provoke, thoughts in the player's mind. And I want to push in that direction.